Well, friends, we are in a series about beloved community, and today I am not teaching. My friend, your friend, everybody's friend, Mason is teaching. So you all know Mason, but Mason is one of our juniors, and Mason is also on staff with our Matthews ministry here. And so what I am going to ask of you and invite you to do right now is to give your focus to Mason. So for the next 10 minutes, if you could keep your phones down, put them face down, if you could give him your full attention, not chat with your neighbors next to you. As someone who does this like every week, it's very distracting. But what I'm going to ask for you today is just to please give your full focus and respect to Mason as he shares a really, really awesome message with you today. All right, Mason, it's all you.
For those who don't know me, my name is Mason Shubkagel. I'm a junior at Olathe South High School, and as Megan said, I'm also employed by the church through Matthews Ministry. For those that don't know what Matthews Ministry is, it is a unique ministry at the church that works and helps those with special needs. A little bit of background about me. In the 4th grade, I was diagnosed with Tourette syndrome. Tourette syndrome is a neurological disorder that causes uncontrolled vocal sounds or muscle jerks, referred to as tics. Before my Tourette's started, I was a popular kid with a lot of friends, and honestly, one of those kids who looked down on others. I would pick on those with disabilities and people who were different, since my friends did it. I thought that was okay and did it to fit in. This is something I regret to this day. Once my Tourette's came down, I was picked on and teased. I really didn't have anyone to go to but my parents or my doctors. Even my teachers ridiculed me because of my tics. This really changed my viewpoint on picking on those with disabilities. I would run away from school, come home almost every day crying and constantly depressed. It got so bad my parents had to pull me out of school and homeschool me. This time was really difficult for me. Not only was I in a major state of depression, I had just lost my best friend BR to a sudden illness. Going into homeschooling, I lost a lot of contact with my friends and was pretty lonely. Instead of turning to God during this time, I blamed him for what he did to me. I felt like God was punishing me by giving me Tourette's. I kind of lost my faith in him. But truly, God was just trying to show his work in me to the world. As he went along, he saw a blind man from birth. His disciples asked, "Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind?" "Neither this man nor his parents sinned," said Jesus. "But this happened so that the works of God might be displayed in him." John 9:1-3. All believers are called by God. Therefore, each believer has a mission given by God to fulfill while here on earth. I ended up being homeschooled until 7th grade when I switched to virtual school. I was in a homeschool group of others that understood and supported me for who I was. The teachers at Lawrence Virtual School did the exact same. When I was in public school, there was only 2 people who made it bearable. That was my best friend Jude and my counselor, Miss Crowther. All of these were people that stood by my side and supported me. Miss Crowther was the one person I could go to and not feel judged. I could talk to her and she would understand me. She was one of the only reasons I would go to school. My friend Jude would always be by my side and would sit with me at lunch as no one else would. A funny story about that was he was the one who used to sit by himself. We first became friends when I sat by him. Just know that the little things you do can have a positive impact on the world, whether it's noticeable or not. Halfway through my sophomore year, I ended up going back into public school. It was difficult being the new kid who made those weird movements and sounds, but I got through it. I had a supportive friend group and people who see me for me. This is when I truly started to get back on my path of faith. Last summer, I went to register with Vacation Bible Camp. All honesty, working with those with disabilities wasn't my first option. I was late to register, and that's all they had. I was assigned to a kindergartner named Teddy, who really changed my life for the good. Teddy has ADHD and autism, but that doesn't define who he is. He's a smart, young, funny, and independent kid. He really made me change my viewpoint. After Vacation Bible Camp, Matthews Ministry Director, Marna, contacted me, offering me a position on staff with Matthews Ministry. I knew this was God's calling. I immediately accepted it. Throughout my journey, I've got to work with some amazing kids and young adults. To me, Matthews Ministry isn't just a job. It is something I enjoy every day. Every Wednesday and Sunday, it is what I look forward to when I wake up. Just remember, next time you see someone with a disability, know that there is more to them than their disability. The kid Chase I work with is one of the best Lego builders I've ever met. Two young adults, Sean and Will, who are twins, have severe autism and are almost nonverbal, but they can remember every scene and line in a movie they watch. Oh, and a kid I met in Kids Corps has autism. He can name almost every dinosaur. Kirby, my cousin with autism, can name every president. Ashton, a kid I work with on Wednesday nights, can point out stuff from a mile away. My experiences are what led me here today. I want to be that person who stands up for those who can't stand up for themselves, and I encourage you to do the same. Now to my point, someone's disability doesn't define who they are, as it's just a part of them. Be that one person who understands and recognizes them for who they truly are. In the Bible, the Lord says, I will guide you along the best pathway for your life. I will advise you and watch over you. Psalm 32:8. God will always lead everyone to the best life, no matter what. God also says in the Bible, do not curse the deaf or put a stumbling block in front of the blind. So while you live out this week, I challenge and encourage you to include others in your life. As it says in Romans 15:7, therefore, welcome one another as Christ has welcomed you for the glory of God. Thank you.
Yeah. Awesome, awesome. Hey, buddy, will you grab your music stand for me?